Peace to everybody, back with another video. This is City wants Jussie Smollett's lawsuit tossed, arguing he could again face criminal charges. So here we go again with Jussie Smollett. Now could again face criminal charges. Come on, really? And of course, here's a picture of Jussie Smollett himself, the former actor of Empire, which the final episode is tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Oh, no, 9 o'clock. I'm sorry. 9 p.m. on Fox 29. Lawyers for the city of Chicago and multiple police officers being sued for malicious prosecution by actor Jussie Smollett say a judge could toss his claims because in part of Smollett could again face charges for allegedly faking a hate crime. So now so the lawyers for the city of Chicago and of course multiple police officers are being sued by Jussie Smollett himself after, well, he filed the papers. Now this time the judge is saying that he could face charges again for allegedly faking a hate crime. Now, I don't see how could Jussie Smollett report a fake hate crime if something happened to him on January 29, 2019, and he reported it. I don't see nothing with it being a hate crime at all, or see him faking a hate crime at all. The argument appears in a 14-page memo seeking dismissal filed by the city's lawyers Monday, roughly 1 month after Smollett's lawyers filed their own counterclaim. They assisted a 16-count criminal indictment Smollett faced earlier this year, caused him economic harm, humiliation, mental anguish, and extreme emotional distress. So this is what they're trying to get him for. And now, of course, the argument is in a 14-page memo seeking dismissal filed by the city's lawyers Monday. And this happened 1 month after Smollett's lawyers filed their own counterclaim. They assisted a 16-count criminal indictment Smollett faced earlier this year, caused him economic harm, humiliation, and mental anguish, and extreme emotional distress. It's a legal back and forth that began with Smollett claimed to be the victim of a hate crime in January. Now the city is suing to recover $130,106 spent investigating what allegedly turned out to be a false claim by the actor. In turn, Smollett sued the Chicago Police Department detectives Michael Theus and Edward Wodnicki, former CPD Superintendent Eddie Johnson and brothers Ebimbola and Olabinjo Osadario. So now there's it was a back and forth thing between Smollett and the court. All right. When Smollett claimed to be the victim of a hate crime in January, that's when it happened. Now the city is suing to recover $130,106 spent investigating what allegedly turned out to be a false claim by the actor. First of all, the police were not there when it happened. Nobody else was there when it happened. Only Jussie Smollett was there when it happened. Nobody else. So the police department had no right saying, oh, well, Jussie Smollett had faked his own attack. That's not true. Nobody else was there except for Jussie Smollett and the two alleged attackers. That was it. Everybody else was not there. In asking a judge Monday to toss Smollett's lawsuit, the city's lawyers argue that despite Smollett's claims to the contrary, the criminal proceedings against him were not terminated in his favor, and they are not over. Cook County Judge Michael Tillman in August appointed powerhouse attorney Dan Webb as a special prosecutor. So yeah, so that's what the judge did. He appointed Dan Webb as a special prosecutor for Jussie Smollett's case. In asking the judge Monday to toss Smollett's lawsuit, the city's lawyers argued that despite Smollett's claims to the contrary, the criminal proceedings against him were not terminated in his favor. So they have not terminated in his favor at all. And now that Jussie Smollett could again be charged for these alleged hate crime. Webb was tasked with investigating the evidence against the former Empire actor and possibly issuing new charges. Smollett's criminal proceeding is thus not over. An investigation into his potential crimes is ongoing, and criminal charges may well be instituted. The city's lawyers wrote, "For this reason alone, Smollett's malicious prosecution claims fail." So now that it could be instituted again. So there might be a chance that it might be he could get indicted again for these charges of all 16 charges that he has against him. For this reason alone, Smollett's malicious prosecution claims fails. So that's what happened. Webb is also reviewing how Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx's office handled the unorthodox and controversial decision to drop all charges against the actor, as she announced her bid for re-election last month. Foxx acknowledged she could have handled the Smollett case better. Yeah, so Kim Foxx, she was criticized for how she was handling the case. The charges were dropped, the records were sealed, the judge unsealed the records, body cameras came out showing Smollett with the rope around his neck. And now she's in more trouble than ever. And of course, she announced her bid for re-election last month, and Foxx acknowledged she could have handled the Smollett case better. Truth is, I didn't handle it well, Foxx said. I own that. So she owns her mistake. She's taking ownership of it. The city's lawyers also said Monday that Smollett's claims should be thrown out because investigators had probable cause to file charges against him. And so now there might be a probable cause to file charges against him again, and I really don't think they should bring up these charges again, because Smollett don't want these charges against him. He wants them gone, out of here, goodbye. Smollett's lawyers have said statements by the Soldado brothers, who said they helped orchestrate a fake attack on the actor, were self-serving, designed to avoid criminal charges. Still, police used the claims to pursue Smollett's prosecution. Well, I really don't believe that it was a fake crime at all. I really don't believe that. I believe that Smollett was the victim himself, and the Soldado brothers, they did it to him. That's what I believe. And of course, they who said they helped orchestrate a fake attack on the actor were self-serving. Now, if the Soldado brothers have done what they have done, then they should be charged for what they have done. Smollett was not saying, "Oh, I faked my own attack." No, he was saying that he's maintaining his innocence. That's what he's doing. He's maintaining his innocence. He has done nothing wrong, but yet, with the mainstream media, they twist everything around. They say all this and that, and you can never believe the mainstream media because they hide the truth, and people have to go digging for it to what really happened, because with the mainstream media, what you're getting out of it is all lies. They said Smollett voluntarily provided his DNA sample and fingerprints to FBI agents in early March. They also said in November his passport was confiscated and still has not been returned. So Jussie Smollett had turned over his passport, so he can't travel nowhere out of the U.S. He provided DNA sample and fingerprints, and this is what the FBI agents did in early March. Nevertheless, they said the case against Smollett ended last March in Mr. Smollett's favor, and in a manner which indicates his innocence, because all 16 counts of the criminal indictment were dismissed 2.5 weeks after the indictment was filed. So that's what happened. The criminal indictment were dismissed. Like I said, they sealed up the record. The judge ordered the record to be unsealed, which it has been. And of course, they are looking at this again, these 16 counts of the criminal indictment. Additionally, they said the city should not be allowed to recover costs from Smollett because it accepted $10,000 from the actor, a payment in full in connection with the dismissal of the charges against him. The city pointed to that $10,000 as another sign the proceedings did not end in Smollett's favor. And so the city of Chicago, they have to acknowledge the $10,000 that Smollett turned over, but the city wants $130,106 for all this overtime and everything. And I know Jussie Smollett is not going to pay that much. The city pointed to that $10,000 as another sign of the proceedings did not end in Smollett's favor, so it didn't end in Jussie Smollett's favor at all, because the $10,000 was like, oh no, we need more. So this is why they're trying to say, oh well, he's got to hand over more money. The city of Chicago is real greedy with money. It really is. And Jussie Smollett, as long as he's claiming his innocence, then they have to acknowledge it. But no, they want to charge him again for all these alleged fake attacks that he supposedly, allegedly did to himself. And it's not true at all. Jussie Smollett was sitting there making police reports. He handed over DNA and fingerprints voluntarily. So who's going to come out telling the truth? It won't be the city. Leave your comments below. I am out.